Yo, welcome back to Camerumours, the series where I spread the latest industry rumours. Let's go. Okay, starting off, they finally released an update to my favourite camera, the Canon M50. We've now got a Mark II version on the way, officially released from Canon. Now, it's not quite what we were expecting. You see, we were expecting a massive upgrade in the quality and the specs that is offered on this M50, but instead, we're practically presented with the same camera. It was rumoured that the M50 was going to have the M50 Mark II was going to have a 30 megapixel APS-C sensor, when actually it's got the same 24 megapixel sensor and Digic 8 processor that my current M50 has. A couple of the updated features though is it has clean feed over HDMI. Now, I've pre-ordered an A7C, which is going to be my new stills camera. It's going to be my new vlogging camera. Not going to replace my Blackmagic for these kind of things, but that's pretty much going to be my new daily driver camera. Now, the M50 was that and is being relegated to being my streaming camera for my gaming channel, link in the description below. And that camera is great. However, it doesn't have proper clean feed. You can make it clean by turning off autofocus, pressing the info button on the back until everything disappears. Then you've got a clean feed over HDMI, but you do lose the autofocus, which is a shame because, as you know, Canon's dual pixel autofocus is fantastic. So they've got clean feed over HDMI in the new Canon M50 Mark II, which is great. It's definitely something that they have been needing on these kind of cameras for a while because it's a very popular camera for small content creators and especially streamers. Next up, more from Canon. So we're getting obviously the R1, and it's been rumored that this is going to have some groundbreaking autofocus on it. Now, I know what you're saying, Canon already have really good autofocus. Well, let me tell you, it's apparently getting a little bit better. And when I say a little bit, I mean probably double better, because they're going from dual pixel to quad pixel if the patent rumors are true. It has been noted that Canon are filing patents for a quad pixel autofocus sensor. Now, for those of you that don't know, the way that dual pixel autofocus works, it has two photodiodes below each pixel. Now, what that does is it dissects the information from that pixel, and it's able to then process that in phase detection to determine whether or not it's in focus and do the calculations, drive the lens motor, put the thing in focus. That's how it works. Now, dual pixel autofocus has the benefit of contrast autofocus in terms of accuracy, and phase detection autofocus in terms of speed. However, quad pixel autofocus will have even greater speed and accuracy than that, because you've got 4 photodiodes per pixel, which means greater accuracy across both horizontal and vertical axes of the pixel, resulting in a much quicker autofocus. Canon are also working on more RF lenses. Now, they're coming out with a bunch of entry-level zooms, like 24-70 f4. I say entry-level, it's still going to be expensive because it's RF, but they're coming out with more of those, which is cool. Happy for that. However, they're also working on 3 new primes, which are 105, 130, and 150mm f1.8 prime lenses. Now, that paired with the photographical prowess of the R5, I think we're going to be getting some good images. That's a recipe for success right there. The RF lenses are beautiful lenses, absolutely killer. I'd say probably the strongest in the game right now. Paired with the R5, which is a killer photography camera. Ignore the video, let's gloss over that. Killer photography camera. We could be onto a winner. I'm interested to see some samples of those when people Jared Poland, etc. get their hands on it. So we'll have to see what happens there. All right, I just want to take a quick minute just to say I know most of you watching aren't subscribed. Shocking 98% of you, I know, pretty vexing. However, it's not too late. You know the subscribe button's down there. You got to like the bell. I release these videos weekly. Go ahead, like the bell, stay up to date. If you want some gear reviews, unboxings, the occasional vlog, if you're tempted, then I have that as well. So get subscribed and I'll get back to the video. All right, DJI released 2 new gimbals this week. I'm sure you're aware. However, I'm yet to find a gimbal that I actually like, but it might be the case that these DJI gimbals are probably going to fix that. You see, the problem with gimbals for me is the admin. I like to grab my camera and shoot. I don't like to grab my camera, set up and balance a gimbal, unfold it, put it all together, whatever, and then shoot. It just takes too long. I lose the spark, I lose the momentum. However, DJI may well have quenched our thirst for speed and reliability, with little adjustments to ergonomics, features and software, making it just that little bit more feasible. All right, finally then, Nikon, whoever they are, they released their Z6 and Z7 Mark IIs this week. As I covered in a recent video, these were being released. They're now released. They're out in the wild, providing a much needed upgrade since their conception almost 2 years ago now. A lot has changed in the market and Nikon are rising, but I don't think they've quite risen to the challenge that Sony and Canon are putting out there with their mirrorless cameras. Maybe we've been spoiled by all the other camera releases recently. I mean, we've had the much anticipated A7S III, we've had an R5 with 8K regardless of overheating, and yet they just don't, I'm not feeling the fight from Nikon. I'm just not feeling the fight here, you know? They're not throwing the punches. It feels like they're pulling them, or they just have admitted defeat and are settling in like the mid-tier. The Z6 and Z7 are what I call sticking with 4K 60p, and even then the Z6 crops for an APS-C and the Z7 crops at 1.08. Now I know the Sony A7S III crops on one of its video modes, but that's 4K 120. Like, hello? That's nothing. Now maybe I'm expecting too much, but at the moment with the current specs, I would be more expecting to see no crop at 4K 60, especially when those are your main mirrorless cameras. You look at the R5, the R6, the A7 III, the A7S III, you know, those modes, you've got to start competing with that, Nikon. You got to get there. You really have to. All right, that is it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment down below any of your thoughts if you want to get in discussion. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. I am pretty active over on Twitter, so if you want to drop me a follow, my handle is in the video description down below. But until then, don't forget to like, get subscribed and like the bell to stay up to date for whenever I release new videos over here. And until then, I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.